Hey everyone, Mortgage Nerd here. So what is the cost of waiting in real estate? I try to illustrate this for people, and actually now I have illustrated it. So I'm going to show you pieces of slides that I have in a presentation that I offer to my clients, as well as the clients of realtors that I work with. The cost of waiting means if you were to wait for rates to come down, maybe from 8% down to 6% or 5% or wherever, what's that cost going to be between now and then? We don't know if it's going to be in 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. I think it'll be sooner than 36. It won't be that far away, sometime next year, very likely. But what's that cost going to be? Well, if values are only appreciating at 5%, nationally that seems like a good average. In South Florida, it's more like 10%. But if values are only appreciating 5%, and you're looking at a $600,000 purchase, in 1 year you will have lost, it will have cost you $10,000. Why is that? Because you have two factors working against you. When you get a mortgage now and you start paying that mortgage, you're paying down your principal, the amortization. You're paying down your loan. When you're renting, it's 100% interest, you're losing all that money. But not everybody watching this is renting. Some people already own a house and they're looking to buy another one. There's still a cost of waiting to that. You can keep the home you're in, let that appreciate. And then on the other one, going back to our cost of waiting calculation, the amortization is one part, what you're paying down. The other part is the appreciation. That's the part that most people think about. So last year, if you would have come to me and said, you know what, I'm going to wait for rates to come down. I'm going to wait for values to come down because they have to, because it's unaffordable. They don't have to do anything because of affordability. It's based on supply and demand. There's not much demand and there's even less supply. So values continue to rise. If you would have come to me last year and not purchased, what you were looking at now is 10% higher in value, and the rate is higher from the 5s to the 7s and 8s. But looking ahead over the next year, okay, rates should be lower, whether it's 7 or 6 or 5%, but your value is going to be 10% higher than that. So that cost is going to be huge because you also have to factor in that amortization. So anyway, in the estimate of the 5%, in 6 months, it'll have cost you $10,000 to wait. After a year, it'll cost you even more. Take a look at this chart. It shows you the 6,000 there in those bars. Now we move on to the 1 year. Now we move on to 2 years. This is what it'll cost you. And in 3 years, this is what it'll cost you. So do you really want to take that risk of waiting when there are no signs of values going down? Last year, everyone was speculating values would go down. I was saying there are no signs. Now there are no signs and no one is speculating anymore. We know values will continue to rise. So are you going to take the risk of that cost of waiting? Mortgage Nerd out.